Hey, it's me again. Yeah, so I did a video before this. It was a controversial video on Session Zero. That was in no means trying to be hip to the times. So I don't fucking know. Nobody liked it. Like 2 people didn't like it at all. Or I don't know how many people watch and don't. It doesn't matter. It's just, let's go dig real deep now and see which is possibly a better video. I don't care. Go away if you don't like it. Anyhow, I have not completed. I haven't read all. Well, that's something I should do. Yeah. This is actually story. Is it story time? Let's just stick with the video first, and then I'll tell you story time on a different video. It has to do with this too, because this will explain why I seem to know so little about one system and more about another system, which is the same system, but not. So anyhow, how would I consider the best way to do a Session Zero is the parties already know each other and are possibly on their way back from an expedition, going into the nearest town to do what they need to do. Friendships, rivalries have already started to show within the group. A good group is, I've always thought like 6, but I seem to see 4 for some reason. 6 being, 3 fighter types, 2 spellcaster types, and 1 roguish type. Don't ask, I don't know. I don't have a reason why I think, it was from a game. It was from an old school, we're talking old school, RPG for the Nintendo. Yeah, old school. Like I did, yeah. Wait, what's in? No, I really don't know if there are actual people going, "What's a Nintendo?" But there might be. But yeah. Anyhow, so yeah. So no, rivalry, 6 people, already adventured together, various different stories. They go, they hang around the town, do a bunch of stuff. Maybe then that's when the characters will be picked up by a patron or whatever. I think that's the thing that it is. See, I spent most of my time with 3.5 turning in the 3.7 because I quite basically 4 just I threw up all over 4. No offense to anybody who worked on number 4 or likes number 4. It's just when the races and the classes you want to be are in the second book of the Player's Handbook 2. It's like they get you used to a certain it's the fact that I'm old. That's what it is. I've been spoon-fed 3 different books: Players, Dungeon Masters, Monster Manual. Those 3 books. That's what I've been spewed. No, I've been fed. So that's the structure which I look in when I look for the obviously particular brand name. If it were to be something else, like for instance, GURPS, only has 2 main videos. They have no Monsters Manual, which is annoying. See, that's another thing. I know the whole point is that it can be whatever the hell you want. So it'd be difficult to properly do a justice to the Monster Manual. But because you can do it, obviously, but they have a lot. And I mean a lot of different modules. Well, not modules. They're not modules. Little game thing. Anybody who knows what GURPS is, please explain it to whoever doesn't know it in the comments. Thank you. That's Session Zero stuff. I mean, the other stuff I said before, well, it is important, but it's not. I don't think it's. I just wanted to do a better job, and because I didn't talk about some things, but yeah. No, I was... Nah. See, this is when you have the cut, right? This is where you get the editing, and you get the cut. But we're doing it different for some reason. Eventually it's like the story I told you about civilizations, right? Eventually I'll go, oh wait, this actually doesn't work. It's not that I'm doing it wrong, it doesn't work. Or hey, if you know how, if like the civilization's approach works, and you know how to make it work, then that I didn't, by all means toss it in the comments. That'd be great. Like, we're trying to get a dialogue here. We're not trying to lose subscribers. We're talking about stuff that might lose. Oh yeah, I don't think they have a cheat. Sorry. Well, prove me wrong. You can't. Can you unsubscribe? I don't want that to happen, but I'm just staring. Okay, this is a shit video. I'm sorry. Well, the other one, I'm trying to figure out what works and what doesn't. And the most ones where I've got a like or some views typically deals with the mention of world building. So obviously there is some interest in world building, whereas the only reason the last one got that didn't have any likes, everybody watched it, so everybody watched it, so that's great. Or liked it. No, watched it. Well, I only have like 2, so I mean, someone else could have seen it, but so that's good. That's good. That's 100%. Which is presume it was people are subscribed because they know I just made it, and yeah, so they're the algorithm. I have to cater to. Well, I don't have to. Well, you know what I mean. I won't be catering. I'll be happy with what I'm saying. Is what I'm trying to say. Let's see. Yeah, well, no. I mean, I think that's a decent way to do it. I mean, you could do the usual. Back in the day, it was the tavern brawl, right? And that's how you became. I could do so many back in the days. As opposed it just in intersecting the world. Well, I'm sorry. I'm not always talking about world building. Just because it's the only thing that seems to get the. I just figure I can definitely do a lot better. Session 0. Like, what mechanics do you want to use? Like, for one, everybody's got to agree on it. What kind of vibe? What are you going through? Because remember, it's for the players as much as it is for the dungeon master. So, like, what you might want to say. But, we all know, right? I'm talking about something we already all know, but there might not be. Like, there could be literally people going, what's a session 0? And needing, decent advice, which I don't think I'm giving right now because, I haven't had a session 0 because, I haven't really played. See, okay, here's another thing I could do is I could stop hitting that, or I could stop using it's not the only system I know. In fact, I think it's the system I know the least. So maybe I should drift away and try another system. So if you would like my opinions on Corpse Spatters or White Wolf or Palladium, though probably not that one. Unless, of course, have any word on how well they're doing, because I'm always curious to know how they're doing. The only reason I didn't get too into that is because it was super, super jumbled. It really wasn't. Like, it was pretty interesting the way they were editing, or not editing, but engineering in the game and where everything is put. They were like 3 steps away from perfect. And that's, that 3 steps away from perfect just knocked them out of the running. I will explain that, because I might do Well, and, I like. Sorry, another reason I do this because beyond the other people who I've been sharing my world with over, it's Facebook right now through messages and whatnot. That's the only actual contact I have with people who are playing the game or into the game, or just like giving advice, or just because they're friends of mine. But the point I think I'm trying to stretch for is, I don't know, the lack of experience. So now my brain's talking about one shots. No, and then, yeah, it'd be like, oh yeah, one shot campaigns. No, like one shot board games, because it has nothing to do with what we're talking about. That's why my brain would say that, because it doesn't make sense. Well, it does if you thought about it. As who knows when the Prime Minister is going to go, oh, COVID time, push the buttons. Yeah, I'm sure that was fascinating. This all this is, hopefully, maybe, is this video making you want to go read? Yeah, well, this is making me want to go read the Dungeon Master's Guide. I was reading it, 5th. I just recently got onto the 5th bandwagon, and I'm only saying on it because the inclusion of the feats as a complete mechanic, like it happens. It's you can choose to have they're part of the system now, and that is what I liked so much about 3.5, which I improved to 3.7, which was going to be what I would use to do my dungeons. But that's the thing. In my worlds, we don't do dungeons. It's not. There's no. Well, I'm having the dragon. But usually, there's no dragon. There's no dungeons. It's a world. It's either city or wilderness. So that's what I should call. Yeah, there's my system: city and wilderness. I don't know. That almost sounds kind of cool. City and wilderness. So you can either steal that from me, or I'll remember. We can both have it. We'll have a legal battle over who owns the rights, or whatever. So no, I'm trying to figure out what I'm like. Well, I'm doing. I wouldn't call it the lazy man's way, but instead of researching analytics, I'm looking at the videos I make and how they can, I'm doing it on my own without the damn analytics. I'm trying to use the brain power, because my answer to half this shit nowadays is because I'm old. And you know how old it is. Like, if you're old, you don't feel, it's weird. Like, if you're old, you understand what I'm saying. No matter what your age is. Okay, yes, there's that stupid square that's on my screen, and now I'm marking out my face on it. That sounds really weird, but I don't even think you can see what it is. Just basically, I click a spot on my mouse, and then there's a little square, and then I fix it on it. So that's fun. Geez, 1351. I got nowhere. So that's also no good. Well, I wasn't thinking of such a ramble though, but I did think I could do better. Because it is last, things on session 0, they are important. Like, more so now, because before nobody cared about these things, and if they did, they just kind of kept it quiet. But it's freedom of speech. And as much as we may or may not like it, that's the direction society is going into. So, yeah. So, I felt I needed to include it. But at the same time, that's just a turnoff for a very large portion of the population. I personally think. Because, this isn't about politics. This shit's, okay, so, give me a like if you think, You can only get one at a time. And he's like, give me a message if you think we should call this everything but world building and too much politics. Because it's, well, no, I mean, like, for our game, for me anyways, a game I would, it's like more or less segmented into a bunch of short stories with you having no idea what your characters in the book are going to do. Like, you know what you want them to do. Point being is to create, it's to test things, to think about things. It's okay. Well, in a world with this and this, does this happen? See, that's what world building is to me. It's the same as book design. The problem with friggin' Palladium books was its design. And that was also what was good about it. So I'll explain that like I would actually almost steal the design with a few added features to it. Like some games have like amazing design, but I personally think design is very crucial for, you know, well, I want to say selling your book, because we've gotten way out of topic by quite a bit, but design is important for publishing, I think. And yeah, so I know I got way carried away. Maybe these are videos you like, but no, and I know I talk about, oh, what do you want me to do? But I am doing, this is a me thing. Like, if I had zero, I'd still be doing this, except I wouldn't be talking to people who are watching. I'd be just rambling. So I'm looking at myself again. I hate that. I really do. Yeah. Does it look like that to you? Like I'm just staring into your soul? Because that's what I don't. Well, you know, the guy there, we're going to talk. Never mind. Let's not talk about the guy who talked about the thing. Alright, so, yeah, if this does better, I don't know what I'm going to do. Well, it's good if it's better, but this is like, I might make a third. But I think I'm, yeah, it's turning into the civilization thing, so I'm going to have to find another way of working this thing. Like, like, subscribe, comment. Oh, I'm just trying. Why do I keep? Because I'm concerned. Actually, I am concerned about you know, someone else's business, not mine, not yours. I'm still concerned, but